Welcome back to Storytime. Let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Where we last left off after our encounter with Smith and Western, we ran into one of the kid's old associates before he wiped his memory, Avelia. She told us some much needed information about Smith and Western and her race in general, and she said she'd be helping us as much as she could behind the scenes. With the new information tucked away and destination in mind, we finally left Mars. En route to Luna, we started brainstorming a plan for the Lunar Gala, and had a pretty solid one set to go, until we arrived at the front gates and realized we'd glazed over one small detail. Luna is a private habitat that you need special clearance or an invitation to get into. And we'll pick up from there. There we are, sitting at the front gate, silently panicking to each other. None of us have clearance to get in. We have no invitation.
We kind of need an answer to let you in. Do you have clearance or an invitation?
We have either misplaced our invitation or we weren't informed of there being an invitation to get into Luna.
Well, you need an invitation to get in, or clearance, but after the quick scan of your ship, it doesn't look like you have that either. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to pull you forward, your ship's going to be put into lockdown, and we're going to interview you to see if we can dub you safe to enter Luna.
Yeah, that should be fine. Guess we'll see you when we get up there. Kids, start working on an alias right now. The guy says as he turns to the kid, we have less than 5 minutes before we're going to pull up to the gate and they're going to interview us to see if either they're going to keep us detained on Luna in some cell, or if we get to go in and enjoy the Lunar Gala unimpeded. Weirdly enough, it wasn't a super huge hassle coming off an alias since the kid already had one in mind. The fake identity he had ready to go was known as Jamarcia Snow. Hard part of this was putting the information out there and forging some credentials for Jamarcia Snow. What he ended up coming up with was Jamarcia Snow was a bigger figure within the scientist community along the rest of the big brain. He dabbled in a little bit of everything but specialized in nanotechnology and cyber limbs. He was the father of a new prototype of nanobots that could connect together, which actually is an experiment the kid is working on currently and is going weirdly well. He ended up typing up some things for Joanna and the guy as well in his credentials. Joanna made the kid mad over something stupid, so of course he was going to be petty about it, and he made Joanna his mistress, who was also training under him to learn more information about nanotechnology, including the nanobots he's currently developing. The guy, on the other hand, he just made his bodyguard. All the information that I was typing up and all the fake credentials I was making, I had to make a roll, which I super critted on. So the information looked solid, like it was absolutely great. The only problem is I was not 100% sure where to uploaded it, so I kind of just threw it on some random website. Our DM rolled, and we'd find out during the interview where it ended up at. While I was at it, I hacked into their systems and put myself on a list for people who received invitations, and we were just gonna pretty much make it look like we lost the invitation en route here. As we finally pulled up to the gates, what we decided to do is let the guy go in and do all of the talking. One, he was better at it than everybody else. Two, we were going to try and pass off that Jamarcia Snow is on the ship. He's just super busy with a breakthrough he's about to have through on some scientific thing he's making. The guards come on the ship. They take like a quick look around to make sure that we don't have any illegal shit on board while we're trying to come into Luna. And they tell the guy to come with them so they can have their interview. Now, I don't remember exactly what the guy said in the interview, and the funny thing is the player character doesn't either. He was completely in panic mode and just made up some shit and could not repeat it back to us if he tried. However, the important part is he convinced them. They also found my credentials on a really weird site. It was on like madtv.com or some dumb shit like that. They also found my invitation. Oh, what a surprise. Yay. So we got into Luna. Tell us what docking bay to go to, which was 624. While all that is going on, the kid is actually making something. He was working with a couple of things that he bought while we were on Mars, one of which was a substance known as liquid thermite. The other were these things known as injectors. They're essentially a nanoswarm that act like bees, and you can put chemicals inside of them. He had no idea if this was going to work. He put the liquid thermite in the injectors, took a small vial with them, put it in his chest compartment. Now, Jamarcia Snow doesn't look much much different from the kid, but it's enough to where it wouldn't draw suspicions, since the kid also does have a massive bounty on his head. Marcia Snow practically looks like an older version of the kid. He has facial hair, and his eye color is different than his. I said beforehand, we arrived on Lunar early so that we could scout out the place and make an even more solid plan. Kid decided not to go on the reconnaissance mission. He stayed on the ship to work on a couple of things, mainly perfecting his new experiment he's working on. Still felt that all three of them out would probably draw suspicion, so he just thought he'd keep it to a minimum and keep himself on the ship so he didn't get into trouble. The guy and Joanna donned some disguises as they were going out. Joanna donned her disguise as the kid's mistress, and the guy used his skin flex that he forgot he had to make himself look like Hugh Jackman, and they were out on their way. First and foremost, the thing we noticed instantly about Luna, this place is fucking huge. There is a zoo on Luna, a large mall, and a plethora of other things that people who have money like to do. As they walked around the habitat, they took note of the security systems that they had installed. They had several cameras installed nearly everywhere. Several guards patrolled the habitat at all times. They also had a private mesh thing set up to where they could monitor what you're looking up on the mesh, unless you have the things that the kid has, so yeah, it didn't really matter. We're also installing some new equipment that on first glance they couldn't identify, and after one or two loops around, they ran into the Lunar Gala's host, a man who introduced himself as Ardent Tanner. Trying to hide their surprise, Joanna introduced herself, and the guy introduced himself as Jew Hackman, which Ardent Tanner found incredibly funny. After he stopped laughing, he looked directly at the guy, his piercing deep blue eyes that seemed to have what looked to be cogs whirling around in them.
Nice to see that the funny man himself is enjoying his time on Luna. Maybe that means you'll be coming up with a new meme soon, since the baggage is getting quite stale.
The guy's blood runs cold as he says this. Mind you, he's using skin flex and looks nothing like himself at all, but somehow, with those strange eyes that Ardent Tanner has, he can see directly through his disguise, as if it wasn't there.
I must take my leave. I have a gala to prepare for. However, enjoy your stay on Luna,
He says without breaking eye contact with the guy, as him and his entourage walk away. Next episode will be out on Monday. I was thinking about doing this in one giant part, but this arc, I guess you could call it, is going to take a little bit, so I might split it up into 2 or 3 parts. Either way, I hope you guys are enjoying the content. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at JarWizard and on Tumblr at the exact same handle. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like, maybe comment, maybe even subscribe. See the rest of this arc play out. Maybe even share it with Gertrude down the street, who also has weird eyes. I don't know. You beautiful people have a nice day.
Bye.